much more likely to enjoy the committed, respectful, caring relationships that we get from married people. And isn't that good really for everybody?
Well, I do have a response for that. I know that we can't look at what's going to happen because it hasn't happened here yet, but I know that there are several countries that have legalized and make the same status of marriage and civil unions or domestic partnerships. And my question is your response, because you're saying that with allowing these people to have their rights, that they would be more encouraged to, maintain together, and that only people that really would consider this as something, that I have a marriage status, I have this label. I understand that in, I believe it's Sweden, that gay couples, gay men couples are 50% more likely to divorce than the general population, and lesbian couples are 167% more likely to divorce than heterosexual couples. And also, to throw in another statistic, 1% of the population of Sweden, Belgium, are the ones that actually do go through with this marriage/domestic partnership. And Belgium, I believe, has had this law in state since 1993. And every year there's only been 150 domestic partners/marriage registered. So it's less than 1% of the population, and assuming that, a lot of people would be affected here, or that a lot of people would take the stance, I'd like to know why in countries where it is legal, more people aren't taking the initiative to define it as marriage, and the ones that do so choose to do that, marriage or domestic partnership under the umbrella of marriage are so much more likely to get divorced.
Is your argument that if we don't let people get married, then they'll never get a divorce, and that's the solution to the divorce problem, is don't let people get married in the first place?
No, that's not the argument. I'm just saying that you stated that with having the marriage umbrella here, and then people would be more likely to, I felt implied that they would be more likely to take care of the marriage or to regard it as something of value.
Well, I think my point was marriage is a public commitment, and when we make a public commitment to our partners, we're more likely to keep that commitment.
Okay.
So marriage increases the stability in relationships. But we know that's not perfect, because what percentage of heterosexual people who get married actually get divorced?
Yeah, it's actually higher within Christian
50%.
population.
So marriage is no guarantee of a stable relationship, but I think the comparison is, would relationships be more likely to be stable with marriage or without marriage? Mm-hmm. I think we have lots of good reasons to predict that people who get married are more likely to have longer lasting relationships than people who don't. Now, we could look into what are all the reasons why a gay marriage might have difficulty staying together, and that might be because of the way that we don't support those relationships as well as we should. We should, I think, make it easy for people to bring their partners with them, to involve them in church activities, to involve them in the school. You bring your spouse with you to your work parties and to your social obligations, and that's what cements relationships together. The better we can do that, I think the better we can expect a positive outcome. You made another point now, and I'm forgetting what it was. I think I don't see any. Why don't more people take advantage of marriage?
Exactly.
We don't give people rights based on whether or not they choose to use them. Our responsibility as citizens of the state is to make sure that everybody has the same rights. Whether or not they choose to exercise that is up to them.
Not everyone has guns.
That's right.
But the option of having one is
available.
That's right.
Okay.
I just want to point out that I have guns right now. But one thing that I find interesting about this is it's a pretty heated debate. But when I was a kid, in the Sabbath school classes, I got those little guide things, and on the back of it, those fast facts. One of the facts was that, maybe it wasn't on the guide thing; it was something else. But one of the fast facts was that someone married a rock in like Arizona or something. So if people can marry rocks, like a pet rock, I don't know, throwing that out there. But then on the other side of the issue, I think
a lot of women feel like they are married to rocks.
But pet rocks, or the little chia pets that have the
That's
hair
right.
that
We
grow.
can grow it out and then